Alright, the purpose of this video is to show you what you can do with Automotive Kit 1. It's not going to be a demo where we actually use Automotive Kit 1. We're just going to show you what you can do with Automotive Kit 1. So let's go down the list of things that you can do with Automotive Kit 1. The procedure that most customers use, which seems to be pretty common, is since people can't get modules today, is cloning. Okay, you can clone a defective module into a salvage unit and just install it in the car. Second is VIN editing. Okay, if you have an issue where a module will not be accepted by the module community in the vehicle because the VIN doesn't match, you can go in with Automotive Kit 1 and edit the VIN. Third is you can do airbags. You can clear crash data from airbags. Fourth is mileage correction. You can do mileage correction with Automotive Kit 1. Fifth is you can perform some automotive locksmith procedures, reflashing of Toyota and Lexus vehicles, which will support the auto learn function. So that's kind of a list. I don't think I've left anything. I probably have left something out, but anyway, that's a list of the procedures as I've just thought them through in my mind. But what I want to do now is I want to go through and show you the different kinds of modules, and there is a bunch. As I have said in the past, this will do any EEPROM based module. Does not matter who made it. It does not matter what the module is. It does not matter what the year of the vehicle is. None of that matters. If it's an EEPROM based module, you'll be able to read it. You'll be able to edit the VIN if that's what you need to do. You'll be able to clone it into a salvage module. So I want to do that by just showing you some physical modules. So let me get started. Okay, this is an ECU out of a Nissan Rogue. Let's just see if we can't find the EEPROM in here. It is right there. Okay, this is a 25A320. All right, so that is the EEPROM in this particular ECU. You'd be able to read it, clone it, then edit it, whatever you needed to do. Okay, this is an ECU out of a Hyundai. Take out the circuit assembly, turn it over, and the EEPROM is it's actually marked A04, okay, but it's a 24C04, and it is right here. All right, so that's the location of the part in this particular module. Okay, here we have an ECU out of an Acura TL. The EEPROM on this assembly is a 93C86. It is right here. Okay. Alright, this ECU is out of a Range Rover. As I said, we don't care who makes the vehicle or what the module does. Okay, anyway, something to notice here is you always want to look on both sides of an assembly because sometimes the EEPROM is not on the side that you're looking at. So in this case, the EEPROM is a 93C86 and it is right here. Okay, so that's a Range Rover. Okay, this is an ECU out of a Fiat 500. This was one where it was on YouTube that you couldn't clone this. It was a write-only EEPROM, which is not correct. Anyway, it's a 95-128. This is a different family than the 93 family, and this particular EEPROM is right here. Okay, this is the General Motors Body Control Module, BCM. And it has an EEPROM, which is located right here. Okay, and it's a 25 LC040. Okay, here's another BCM. I don't know what vehicle this is out of, but where's the EEPROM? It's right here. It's a 24C02 EEPROM. Okay, this is out of a 2016 Buick Encore. Of course, it's stuck back in the case. And the EEPROM is not on this side, but if you flip it over, it's right here. And it's a 24C32 EEPROM. Another EEPROM. Okay, this is a BCM out of a Chevy, what is this, 2011 Chevy Cruze. So where would the EEPROM be on this assembly? It would be right here. This is the processor. The EEPROM is right here, and it is a 24C16. Next on our list of modules is, this is out of a Saab 9.3. You can tell it was installed around the steering column. You can tell by the hole. Okay, well, where's the EEPROM on this assembly? Well, it's a 93 LC66A, and it is right here. Okay, this is a module out of a Porsche Boxster. This module, these are notorious for getting wet because they mounted them under the seat. Anyway, the EEPROM in this module is right here, and it is a 93 LC66A, just like was used in the Saab. And I'll show you something else. It got wet, and it got all corroded, and it got corroded here on the circuit assembly. Point to make here is that this model was shot, but the data in the EEPROM was still good. So all we needed to do was read the data out of the EEPROM and clone it into a non-defective module, one that hadn't gotten wet, and install it in the vehicle, and you would be done. Okay, moving on. This is a module out of a Jaguar. You can tell because on the module it says Jaguar. And does it have an EEPROM in it? Well, yes, it does. This EEPROM is right here. It is a 93C46. Okay, here's a module out of a, I don't know what vehicle this is out of, but based on the fact that it looks like this on this side, I'm going to say it's an ABS unit. The EEPROM is here. It's a 95040. Then we have this ignition assembly. On this side, there are no EEPROMs, but if you take it out, you flip it over, right here is a 93C86 EEPROM. Okay, this is an airbag module out of an Acura Integra. And right here, we have a 93C46 EEPROM. Okay, this is an airbag module out of a Mazda 3. And what do we find but right here? This is the EEPROM. It is a 95640. This is where the crash data would be stored. Okay, well, one place you will definitely find EEPROMs is in digital clusters. I don't know what vehicle this is out of, but anyway, I'll flip it over here, and right here is a 93C46. This is where the mileage is stored. You get one of these that fails, and you get one of these that's salvaged. You just read this, and move the data into your salvage one, and install it in the car. Okay, here's another cluster. I have no idea what vehicle this came out of. However, if you look on the back, right here is a 93C56 EEPROM. Okay, here we have a Volkswagen, it's called a Kessi module. And let's take it out of its case. Here we have the EEPROM is right here. This is a 93C86. However, it's a 93C86 which has to be read as an 8-bit part. We explained to you how to do that and how you can tell the difference between an 8-pin part and a 16-bit part. Okay, the next module that we have, and there's another Volkswagen module. This is the Volkswagen Comfort module, and it has a 95020. No, pardon me, 95320, and it is right here. Okay, so here are a couple of Volkswagen modules, and by golly, they got EEPROMs in them also. Okay, this module, we would not want to leave out Subaru. Okay, so this module is out of a 17 to 19 BRZ, say accent 2, and it is a 93C86 in it. And let me just show you where that would be. Okay, this EEPROM is right here. And as I said, it's a 93C86. So, we see that Volkswagen uses them, Subaru uses them, Toyota uses them. As I said, EEPROMs are everywhere in all kinds of modules. Jaguar, Ford, doesn't make any difference. All of the design teams used EEPROMs in a whole variety of modules. Okay, this is an ECU out of a 2008-2009 Subaru Impreza. Alright, so let's see. We didn't write on the outside of it which EEPROM is on the assembly, so let's see if we can't find it here. Okay, so we looked on the side and there was no EEPROM on this side, but if you turn it over, the EEPROM is a 93C86 and it is right here. Okay, this is a BIU, body integrated unit, out of a, what is this, out of 2013 Impreza. Alright, and let's see if we can't find the EEPROM in this module. Okay, the EEPROM in this module is 24C02, and it is right here. Okay, I think the last module I'm going to show you is, this is out of a Volvo. Let me open it up. This thing is quite large, and it's going to take me a second to get it apart. Okay, this case, it's three pieces. It's a challenge to get it open. But anyway, here is, we put a sticker on this since we had it open before. The EEPROM is right here. It's a 93C86, and this is an 8-bit part, meaning that you've got to read it with an 8-bit driver. As I said, we teach you about that. Okay, this is going to be the last module that I show you. The whole point of all of these, showing you all of these modules, is so that you are aware that EEPROMs have been used in vehicle modules for almost 40 years. They're still used today. Meaning that there are tools which will do EEPROM work. They're not, most of those tools are not designed to do EEPROM work in circuit. However, we are. Our tool is designed to work with EEPROMs in circuit. If you've watched our videos, of which there are a number, on cloning and VIN editing, any other thing, I mean, we allow you to work directly with the memory part in circuit. We don't care about, as I said, the vehicle, the module, the make, the model, the year, or any of that. You go right to the EEPROM part and you work with it. But I wanted to show you all these modules to make the point that with the many thousands of modules in vehicles over the decades that vehicles have existed with EEPROMs on their circuit assemblies, Our tool gives you the opportunity to solve a vehicle module problem, especially if the vehicle, you can't get the module because it's either an older vehicle or it's on infinite back order or whatever. You'll be able to get that job done, hopefully with a simple clone or a simple VIN edit or perhaps some other procedure. But I just wanted to make you aware of the number of modules that our product will work with, of which there are thousands. Okay, so that was the point of this video. As I've said before, if you like this kind of content, feel free to give us a like. If you want to subscribe. If you are interested in our kits, you can get information about those, or if you have questions that you would like to pose to us, the information is available on our website, and our website is arlabs.com.